Hello. How's everybody's week going? I am stoked that I get to come hang out with you guys because I have a new star thing. I enjoy going live and I enjoy our Wednesdays. But Facebook sent me this notification thing and it said, change your account to like a professional profile. And now it says I have 0 stars because nobody's given me any. I don't know what this means, so I'm gonna have to do some research when I'm off this call. But I wanted to share something with you guys that's super exciting. I haven't even opened this yet, but if you've been following, I don't know if I've mentioned it in the group here, but if you've been following my Instagram stories, I painted the wall behind me. Obviously, you guys know that's different because it used to be light beige and pretty cluttered, but I reached out to a company to put my decal, my company logo on the back wall. And I waited and waited and waited. They never got back to me. So I reached out to a second company and this is really big. I reached out to a second company and they got it done for me in a day. So look at this, you guys. Look at that. Do you think that's going to be okay? Is that going to be an okay size? What do you think? I think that's gonna be perfect. Ooh, that is amazing. I'm very, very happy. Okay, they did an amazing job of that. So I just wanted to start that on a good note because I was super stoked. And I wanted to open it and see it, and I did my workout instead of opening that ahead of time. So I got to share that with you guys. But today I wanted to talk about the fear of the unknown because this is what I've been posting about in the group for you guys this week. As I mentioned in my post, I am building something into my life that I have no idea if I'm going to succeed at. And so it brought this topic up to light because I've been thinking about this a lot. And honestly, this was a very big foundational part of my health issues when I was going through all the post-concussion stuff, the neck injury stuff, the back injury stuff. And there were so many times, not even segments of time, but there were years, literally years, you guys, where I didn't think that I was going to get through what I was going through. And that unknown is very scary. So going back to that time, I had given up snowboarding. I had given up mountain biking. I had given up jogging. I had given up pretty much every activity for the sake of getting my health back and figuring out what was going on with my body. And so that unknown of giving up everything that you identified with, a lot of that it's identity stuff. And we've talked about that before, but identity stuff is huge. And when you don't know if you're going to get back to these things that are familiar to you and you really identify with, that's scary. If you go into your future and you make a decision and you take on something that you don't know if you're going to succeed at, it is scary. But this is why we're here. This is why we are building emotional resilience. And in order to handle these things, to build the emotional capacity and the mental capacity to take on challenges, to take on the unknown, and to maybe feel a little bit of fear around it, but not let it incapacitate us, because it is really common actually to create a stop pattern and to plant our feet in concrete and say, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here in my bubble where it's comfortable. I'm really familiar with things. I'm familiar with my environment. I'm familiar with my reaction to my environment. And I have all my comforts around me, right? And we have a lot of comforts around us right now. And that is both a beauty and a detriment of technology, of comforts we have in our homes, of certain foods that are available readily to us every single day. We have comforts around us. So in order to step out of our comfort zone, we're not just talking feel the discomfort or the fear and move forward anyway. We're talking neurologically, we're wired sometimes to not let go. And so we need to, in building this emotional resilience and this resilient mindset, we need to gradually train ourselves into accepting that unknown and and understanding that within ourselves, we have the power to handle it no matter what that presents, because life's always going to give us inevitable things, right? There is inevitability, or unknowns are inevitable, basically is what I'm trying to say. We are always going to come across something that blindsides us, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, it can be like medical surprises, it can be a flat tire on your way to work, or it could be a windfall, right? They both work. They're both they can both shock us, basically. Give me a sec. I just finished my workout, which I'm actually going to talk about in a sec. But yeah, sometimes I jump into these things really quick. We can only stay in our bubble and control our bubble so much for so long before life's like, okay, you need to grow. So we can either develop ourselves in such a way where we understand that within ourselves is the capacity to handle what we're handed, or we can shrink back until life says, no, I'm going to pull you in this direction and you're going to have to face these things no matter what. So it is much easier emotionally to put ourselves in an uncomfortable place and to face that unknown and the fear that comes along with it before life hands us these situations where we're like, holy shit, like what just happened? Literally, the carpet's been ripped out from underneath me and I don't know what to do. So basically, all I'm saying is life from start to finish, it's going to have some shit in the middle, right? It's going to have absolutely beautiful, incredibly rewarding moments and situations and years, and it's going to have some struggles in between. That's just the way it is. And again, we are here for that contrast. We're here for the highs and the lows and the good emotions and the hard emotions and all of it. This is what makes life's experiences so incredibly rich. So that's important to remember too, that it is not a bad thing that we're handed bad things, because we are always given an opportunity to grow through that bad thing, because we always have the capacity to handle whatever is in our path. So that's important to remember. A very good way of handling unknowns, if you want to pick a direction with your life and you want to go, then a really great way to overcome fear is to focus on the emotions that you want to feel. What is your outcome? And the typical way to think of an outcome, a desired outcome, is to say, I want this specifically, I want that specifically, and I want this specifically. And those could be material possessions, those could be very specific in detail, and they turn into expectations. But an easier way to go about things is to ask yourself, okay, if you want these three things, then what is the feeling or the emotion that they will evoke inside of you if you got those things? Right? Like, what is the emotion that you are seeking in looking for those situations, those possessions, those certain set of circumstances? What is that going to make you feel? And why do you want to feel that way? So if you reverse engineer and you really break down why you want to feel a certain way, then in moving forward towards the unknown, because you don't know what that's going to build into yet, that road, you can only see so far down it. If you focus on how you want to feel along that journey, then that's going to both give you the courage and the clarity that you need to walk that path and why you're walking that path in the first place. Does that make sense? The most important thing above anything else is, while you're moving down that path, keep moving, because it is really, really easy, again, to just plant your feet and stay where you are because it's comfortable. It's easier not to feel fear. It's easier not to put yourself out there, make yourself vulnerable, and open yourself to things that you don't know are going to happen. Maybe you'll have an embarrassing moment. Maybe it's going to physically hurt. Like, you don't know. So the most important thing by far is that you keep creating your life. And the more consciously you can do that, the better. Basically, if you don't push yourself, you're not going to find out. And so using certain tools, one of the tools I talk about a lot is tapping or emotional freedom technique. And I'm just, after this live stream, going to go and post a tapping script to my Instagram. But I will make sure to share that in the group here too for you guys, because that is one of my absolute favorite tools. I've been using it for years and years and years, and it has helped me immensely along my path to process emotion, to face hard things within myself, and to really heal a lot of the things that I've gone through in my past, and to not carry them into my future and have them define who I am and define my actions and define, you know, who I'm going to become in the future. So along this path, like into creating who you're going to be in the future, use the tools that you can. Use everything that you can to process your emotions and be present with your entire experience. And that will help too, because the more that you do that, the more you tell your nervous system that, hey, like, we do have the capacity to handle this. We can handle what's coming. And even though we hit a speed bump over here, we got over it and we're good now. Maybe even we're better for it because we've grown and we understand things better from a new perspective. And so the next speed bump, that might not be so bad. Use the tools that you have and practice. Look for new tools if you don't have anything that is working for you well right now. And yeah, just keep moving, guys. Just keep moving. And you don't have to know. We're never going to actually know. There's very rare circumstances where we actually know the outcome that's actually going to happen. And if you take your life and you look 5 or 10 years back into your past, would you ever have expected that you'd be sitting where you are right now in this specific situation? And would you have expected that you'd have gone through the level of emotional growth that you did? And the answer, I'm going to guess, is probably no. I know it's no for me, because I've accomplished way more than I thought I could from this perspective of 5 years ago or 10 years ago, or sure as hell 15 years ago, me, 20 years ago. Like, the person that I am now, like, literally because of great focus and effort and the willingness to hurt, I'm living as somebody that I dreamed of living, you know? So allow yourself that growth, and you can move forward and be completely at a loss as to where this path is going to go. But if you are driven from something inside of you, then that's all that matters. If you know that your path is right, then as long as you keep moving, it's going to be right. So check in with yourself, see how you feel, and use the tools when it gets hard. And I'm going to post that here. But yeah, like, again, I told you guys I was going to talk about my workout today. I did basically 100 burpees in 10 minutes. And that was after an upper body workout. And yesterday I had done 50 in 5. And that was something that I struggled hard with. Hard. And so when I looked at today's schedule, I was like, 110, like, it's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible. So that was an unknown for me. The only known was that I was going to be really, 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 really uncomfortable. That was the only thing that was absolutely guaranteed. And I thought, yeah, like 98% chance I'm probably not going to finish this. And how that's going to feel at the end of it depends on up here. I got to round 5 or minute 5, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit really, really, really badly. And then I got to round 6 and I really wanted to quit. And round 7, I really wanted to quit. Round 8, definitely wanted to quit. And then round 9, it's only 2 left. Now I'm obligated. Now I have to keep going. And then it dials into just really focusing on, okay, 1 movement, 2 movements, 3 movements, 4 movements, 5, halfway through a set. See, I didn't think that I could finish that, but I did. And if I hadn't given myself the chance to go into that unknown, if I hadn't given myself a chance to be that uncomfortable, then I wouldn't have had the incredible feeling at the end of that workout being like, my God, like, I just did what I didn't think I could. So use that as an analogy, use that as an example of how to move through life and really embrace that unknown, because you are more powerful and more capable than you might be giving yourself credit for right now. And I want you to remember that.